Hello, Armstrong family. This is I, Mr. Sorensen, coming to you with a public announcement about some things that everybody can do to get students ready to return to school on August the 24th. And so I am going to just share with you just some suggestions and some different tips. What I would do if my student were returning to school on August the 24th. So we're going to pretend that this guy right here is my kiddo. We'll call him Sorensen Jr. Hi there. He's not very chatty. Anyway, here are some things that I would do to help Sorensen Jr. prepare for school in the fall. So one obvious change to our school year next year is that students will be wearing a mask almost all day when they're in school, and it's really, really important that mask works well for the student. If I were sending a student to school, I would make sure that I tried a variety of different masks that are available to find one that fit really, really well on my student that was reasonably comfortable. No mask is 100% comfortable, but having one that works well for your face type works particularly well. Just to note, parents, please don't send your child to school in any kind of Halloween mask or costume. That would be inappropriate, and there's only one Darth Vader helmet allowed in the school, and it belongs to me. Now, we'll be providing masks here at school, and if you have to hold out and wait for those masks to come, then that's totally okay as well. I'm just giving some suggestions to make transition easier for students. So once the proper mask has been found, this is apparently the one that he likes the best, then I, as a parent, am going to do everything that I can to help him practice wearing that mask as much as possible before the school year starts. That way, when we go to basically him wearing it all day long, it's not a huge transition for him because he's already pretty used to wearing it. And that would be very, very helpful as moving through. And it's also an opportunity to help train the students on how to wear the mask properly. I see a lot of people in grocery stores and things with their mask being worn like this. The nose, as you'll notice, is not being covered by the face covering. That makes it not quite useless, but pretty close. So make sure that masks are worn over the nose and covering the mouth, okay? Very important. Now, if my student were coming to school in the fall, one other thing that I would make sure that I was taking care of is hand sanitizer. We'll be providing all kinds of hand sanitizer when they're here in the school, but you can never be too careful. So I would probably be sending my kid to school with a small bottle of hand sanitizer in their backpack, and then I would teach them not only to carry it, but also how to use it properly. So let's have a little hand sanitizer demonstration. When using hand sanitizer, the trick is always to have exactly the correct amount of quantity. If you squirt too much hand sanitizer on your hands, it makes a mess and it wastes sanitizer and it makes your hands sticky and messy and nasty, and it actually is worse for you. So, but not using enough hand sanitizer is also a problem because it doesn't kill the germs. So the correct amount is just a teeny tiny drop, and it's just enough that when you rub your hands all together, it gets every surface of your hand just damp. And make sure to rub between your fingers like that, between your thumbs, back and forth, all over the hand, and voila. And if you didn't feel that all of your hand got wet, you might want to use a little bit more, but I feel that my hands are pretty good right now. In addition to masks and hand sanitizer, I would be teaching my student everything that I could about appropriate social distancing. Now, the idea behind appropriate social distancing is that people should be about 6 feet apart whenever possible. Now, obviously that won't be possible all of the time, but kind of getting that distance in students' heads is really, really helpful. Now, if it is helpful, I, Mr. Sorensen, am exactly 6 feet tall. And so if you imagine a Mr. Sorensen laying on the ground between two people, that's appropriate social distancing. This is going to be the most important on the playground, because when we're playing at recess on the playground, students won't be wearing masks because it'll be difficult for them to breathe. And so when they're on the playground, they'll have to be thinking, am I about one Mr. Sorensen apart from the people that I'm playing with? If I have to get closer than that, then I'm probably going to put a mask on. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, it's important to know that we need to make sure that students are staying home if they are feeling sick. So it's very important that we train students to communicate with us very, very clearly about how they're feeling. So if they come, we want to make sure that they don't have a temperature, make sure that they don't have a fever, also that they're not having a cough or sneezing or a runny nose or a sore throat or anything like body aches or pains, anything of that nature. We want to make sure that we keep that student home just for the safety of everybody in the school. We'll have much relaxed attendance policies than we've had in the past, so please don't worry if you need to keep your kid home. Just communicate with us and we'll work with you to help them make up whatever work or anything that they miss, and we'll take care of it that way. But please don't hesitate to keep kids home if they're not feeling well. Again, all of these things come by way of suggestion. If I had a student returning to school in the fall, these are the things that I'd be doing to help them get ready to return to school. I'd be teaching them about hand sanitizer, proper hygiene. I'd be taking care of their masks, making sure that I had several of the correct masks on hand and that I was teaching them how to wear it properly, giving them opportunities to practice wearing it now so that it's more comfortable for them when they return. I'd be teaching them about social distancing and how to maintain distance from their peers. And again, talking to them about communicating openly if they feel ill or that they're not feeling well, so that we don't inadvertently send them to school when they're feeling sick. Again, I hope these suggestions help, just some things to think about, and have a great day.